Ready, sir?
Ready, both.
Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 10 edition of the Recap Show. Hey, big night across the state of Louisiana. Huge games. You had district titles on the line. You had rivalries renewed. You had senior nights across the state of Louisiana. It was a special night indeed, knowing that there was so much on the line, so much to play for, and one last memory for a lot of those kids out there. We covered a great game. We had huge numbers in the chat tonight, but you look around the state and there was high drama all over the state, my friend.
All over.
You look at Week 10 and already the regular season is done. We shift gears to playoff football starting on next week. We have Week 1, so you're going to have some teams with first-round byes. They're going to get a little break, they get a little layoff before they even get to step on the field.
Right. Try to get a little healthy.
Yes, sir. But the teams that will get to play next week, a lot of them locked up a home playoff game tonight, including where we were at tonight.
Right. Most definitely.
You look at some of these district champs that have been named. A lot of these games have come down to the wire. We were listening to one on the way back home, and that LCA St. Thomas More game.
Wow.
Boy, did that have some drama.
That had a big wow. And then a big wow, or a bigger wow after that. So it was like unbelievable.
Yeah, that final 2 minutes was absolutely insane. I think the biggest wow of the night is how convincingly and lopsided that score was with John Curtis and Edna Carr.
I know. That blew me out of the water whenever I first heard that. I was like, that cannot be true. And it was.
You thought it was a score error?
I thought it was an error. But it was.
Oh, man. What a win. But who saw that score coming?
I sure did.
We look at teams like St. Louis that we covered last week, Gary. Tonight they get a 7-0 win on senior night. A defense came back and they had something to prove this weekend. They get a big-time win. I mean, they didn't light up the scoreboard, but the defense pitched a shutout.
Right, and that's amazing, especially against a team like Jennings.
Jennings was red hot.
Jennings was hitting on all cylinders, and they just, So, hey, there's a lot of scores we're going to go over. We're not going to stay here all night, but we got a lot of things we got to go over. But, man, I can't wait to see what the brackets are going to finally come out to and the playoff picture. I'm excited, Jordan.
Yeah, you know what else, Gary? You look at there is a lot of teams in the state of Louisiana that are also going to be sharing the district title after tonight. We look at that 3A district. Northwest, Iota, Church Point, it would take an Iota win to share the title with Northwest and Church Point. And I heard they were down 18 points in the fourth quarter and stormed all the way back and won it at the end in the final 10 seconds.
We were looking at the play
of the game.
Oh, my God. It was just unbelievable. First of all, those two teams, we said it on the show, the Pick Show, could go either way. And I like both teams. I like Church Point. I like Iota. But, man, to end that way, it was unbelievable.
Yes, sir. You look at Ruston finally getting a win at West Monroe. I think it's been 20-something years since their last win at West Monroe. You said it Wednesday. It's not the easiest places to go in and get a win.
Right. And honestly, normally I don't pick against West Monroe, but this year I had a feeling, this week I had a feeling that it was going to happen, and boy, did it. So you got to say congratulations to Ruston. Awesome.
Some more games before we get into this slate of games, my friend. Back to Thursday. Mm-hmm. We talked about Wassman's defense. We talked about how good that defense was. But when do we start talking about how good this Sterlington football team actually is? I think they're dome good, Gary.
I think they are too. I thought Wassman had a little edge. They were going to be playing at Wassman, but man, Sterlington came in there and they flexed their muscles. They let them know that, hey, we're here.
And you got to watch out for them once the playoffs get here. And that is a scary team going in, my friend.
You're right. You're right. It's But it's the playoff. How they say that? Now that we're here, it's the playoffs. Anything is possible. So look out.
Newman and St. Charles renewed their rivalry tonight. The last 2 years, that one has been a one-score game. But tonight, you're talking about a statement win from the defending state champs. They shut them out at home, beat them by 4 scores.
That's not easy to do against Newman. You know, I mean, but this is St. Charles. St. Charles is on pace to go after a three-peat.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? Statement wins like today puts everybody on notice.
You know who else put somebody on notice tonight? A road shutout win tonight. Haynesville knocks off their rival, Homer, 23-0. Boy, who saw that score coming?
I thought it was going to be a close game, but boy, did they come out and flex their muscles and let them know, hey, I am, you know, here and we are dominating. And they did. They dominated.
Golden Tornado. Watch out for them in the playoffs. We could very well re-see this matchup.
Right.
When we were looking at the rankings before we came on air, we could very well see Iota Church Point once again.
Right. That's possible down the road.
Round 1.
Yeah. Actually, it'd be like going, oh my God, they got to play each other again. This time it would be, instead of Church Point, it would be at Iota.
Could you imagine?
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be out of town, and I am so sorry that, I have to work for a living. You know, I have to be out of town, and it's usually the first week of the playoffs is every year I'm out of town. But goodness, I would want to be at that game.
Yes, sir. You talk about high drama and a lot of controversy at the E.D. White and St. James game tonight. That one didn't end the way people, I would say, it was a controversy ending, if I should say. But the score, E.D. White gets the win.
E.D. White is
they're a good ball
to
club.
me, they're a good ball club. But it's like they were like Destrehan last year, and I say Destrehan last year, and like Destrehan this year. Nobody talks about them. Everybody's quiet, and they're both 10-0. Yes, both teams 10-0. Look out!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A Zachary and Catholic of Baton Rouge game had a crazy ending on Thursday night. I heard it come down to a rule book. Hey, you see something new every day in high school football, right?
Well, the rules are very simple, and if and I understand the misunderstanding. Now that I kind of heard what it was concerning.
We still don't know the exact result.
I don't know the exact rule, but instead of being, it was in overtime and it was a dead ball foul. So I mean that's pretty much out. But like I said,
for Catholic of Baton Rouge to knock off Zachary after. Zachary came in undefeated.
Correct.
That just speaks volumes. We got to watch out for this Bear football team in the playoffs.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to be the team that Zachary plays for next.
Okay.
I do not want to be, because Zachary is going to be clicking on all cylinders. Look out.
Okay. You look tonight as a big-time win for the Broncos out of Lake Charles, Gary Swallow.
Right,
Sam
most
Houston
definitely.
knocks off the defending district champs from a year ago in Southside. You knew they were not going to be denied for senior night tonight. Broncos, they wanted it a little bit more.
Yeah, it was a close game, very close game, but I tell you what, I think they made a statement right there. They really did.
West Feliciana in their backyard get upset tonight by Plaquemine, and Plaquemine gonna win the district title.
That's what it looks like, and teams that you weren't sure of how they were going. They're shining right now. They're putting up some good numbers. Congratulations to Plaquemine, district title. Can't ask for better. You know
who else put up some big numbers tonight?
Who's that?
Archbishop Shaw and Karen Crow.
Oh yes, I did see that.
That one had over 100 points. Shaw with a win. 57-50, Karen Crow, and we saw they took a huge dip in the rankings.
Yeah.
That's a big-time loss right now, my friend. But hey, shout out to JB over there at Shaw. They're celebrating a Week 10 win. hey, playoff time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't want to be the team that Carencro plays next, because boy, I tell you
First round bye.
I know, but there's gonna be somebody else in 2 weeks. Guess what? I don't want to be the first one to play them, because
if they
they're
fall out
gonna
the top 8, they probably will play.
Yeah, I don't want to see them, because boy, I bet you they're gonna be chomping at the bits to make up for that. So look out.
Vermilion Catholic, 4 years in a row have not been beaten in district play. About a perfect 10-0 season. They're getting ready. It looks like they locked up the number 1 seed going into the playoffs.
Yes, I think, man.
Screaming Eagles, if they fall on the right side of the bracket,
they may be in the dome.
May be in the dome again. Where will a Ouachita Christian fall? If
they're on the opposite sides, look out.
We could see a potential rematch.
Right.
Let's see. Bunkie in the Catskin game tonight against rival Marksville.
Mm-hmm.
No problems tonight. Coach Hillman was on the other sideline last year.
Right.
Tonight he was leading the Panthers, and they rolled tonight to their 9th victory of the season. I think Bunkie locked up a first-round bye tonight, so congratulations, Coach Hillman. Outstanding season.
Bunkie's going to be a exciting team to watch, but they're going to be a tough team to play, whoever they play next, because I'm going to tell you right now, they are there.
Yes,
they
sir.
are there.
Some more district champs to announce. Congratulations to the Oberlin Tigers.
Right.
They got to see the win on Thursday night. East Beauregard took care of Basile, so they celebrated a district championship Thursday night. Had to kind of like shift gears a little bit, get ready for senior night on Friday with a Ville Platte team coming in, and they picked up their 8th win of the season, no problems there. So you get 2 victories in 1 week, district champs and a senior night win.
Correct.
So Oberlin, they're riding a high right now.
Most definitely.
We take a look at a couple more teams, Mr. Swallow. We go to our alma mater. Port Barry at home tonight, 44-0 shutout win over Pine Prairie, and the Red Devils are headed to the playoffs. It's been a while, but well deserved. They worked hard for this moment, and the seniors deserve it. And Coach Angel was the right man for the job.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I am so tickled pink. It warms my heart to see the Red Devils, getting back to the tradition and really putting forth the effort. This is the first time they made the playoffs in a while, and let me tell you something. Coach Angel, I didn't know him until he started, coaching here at Port Barry. And I honestly agree with you. I think he's the right man for the job. He knows his stuff. He's got some good people around him that know what they're doing. And he's bringing the culture of Port Barry Red Devil football back.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick.
Slowly but surely.
He's not going to do it overnight. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this town and this area can, work with him, he's going to bring the light back to Port Barry High School football.
So let's announce some more district championships.
Yes, let's do it.
District champions, my friend. We go out and talk about Leesville tonight. They wrapped up a district title tonight with a big time win over Rain.
Right.
And they had to do it on the road. So I'm sure Xavier Ford had one of his Xavier Ford types tonight. I'm starting to watch this Leesville team going into the playoffs. They could give a lot of people some headaches.
Right. They're going to give a lot of people trouble. They're gelling at the right time. They're coming together and they're working real good with each other. And I'm going to tell you, they may give some people some trouble.
Some more district championship love tonight. Opelousas Catholic Vikings wrap up a district title for the 3rd year in a row. You had to go on the road. You had to go down to Eunice and take on the Blue Jays of St. Ed's. They said this is their best chance for St. Ed's to finally get that district title. But tonight, Vikings prevailed. Vikings too strong, too fast, too physical.
Right.
My friend, and congratulations to Coach Mathern over there. His first year there keeps the district title rolling.
Right.
3 years in a row. Watch out for the Vikings in the playoffs.
Oh, look out! They're going to be tough, but they're battle tested. They haven't run away from competition.
Those first
You
few
know,
weeks,
those those first few weeks of the season, they went through a gauntlet. I mean,
and it's got them ready for this moment.
Yeah, and that means they're battle tested and they know what to expect, and they have a shot to make a run. Can't ever tell how far they'll go.
Gina took care of Buckeye tonight, which was a scare at first. Buckeye jumped out on them. Gina Giants responded like the championship caliber team that they are. And Gary Swallow, Gina wraps up a district title tonight. I think that's their 3rd year in a row, if I'm not mistaken. But Gina wrapped up a district title tonight. Also going to be the #1 seed going into the playoffs.
Gina is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm going to be honest with you. We had the pleasure of covering them with Monkey. And, you know, I'm going to tell you right now, they are a all-around team.
Yes, sir.
I really enjoyed watching them. And look out. They're a force to be reckoned with. And I think they're going to be in the driver's seat for a long way to go, you know.
We look at district championships crowned on Thursday nights. Notre Dame Pios still run that district, and the Pios are getting ready for another postseason run as year in and year out they continue to do, my friend. They went on the road to shut out Welsh, 5-2-8 district champs.
Right.
So we'll see how far the Pios go this year, or will they run into St. Charles again?
Yeah, that's going to be the question there.
I think it's St. Charles, or is it Dunham?
I don't remember who did it
Who's
last
been
year.
putting them out the playoffs these last few years? Dunham or St. Charles?
I'm not sure. But let me tell you something. Notre Dame, you can love them or you can hate them. Louis Cook knows how to coach.
Yes, sir.
And he is one of the best coaches in the state. He's one of the best coaches in this area for sure. And I'm going to tell you, I had a chance to meet him a while back. Very nice, humble man. And he's doing a great job over there.
Absolutely. We'll see if the Pios can make another run for the state title.
Right.
You look at another district title game from Thursday night. It was Parkview Baptist and University Lab. So it was St. Charles.
Yeah. That's what we thought.
And Gary, we looked at this matchup, Parkview Baptist and ULab Thursday night. I've said it all year. I thought ULab was one of the 2 teams that could give could give St. Charles a threat to knock off their chances for a three-peat. And on Thursday night, they won the district title with a blowout win over Parkview Baptist. We'll see where ULab and St. Charles falls in the bracket. Hopefully, it's not on the same side.
Yeah, we'd love to see. Anytime you have good teams like that, you don't want to see them in the first, second, or third round. You'd like to see them in the finals. You want to see it because, you know, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, you want your best teams to play in the finals, and that's what it's all about. And I think that, like I said, you can like the system now or not, but I'm gonna tell you right now, last year. I won't lie to you. They had some awesome matchups all the way down. You know,
it should be even better this year.
I think it's gonna even be better. So we'll see. We'll see. It depends on how they bracket it out. And with Sunday, we'll find out.
Tell you what, Diesel Solari of Cecilia is a bad man walking. Gary.
Oh yeah, he is a very bad man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he is.
That man was on fire Thursday night, and the Cecilia Bulldog team was on fire Thursday night. This one was a back and forth slugfest for a while, my friend. And then next thing you know, Cecilia turned up the music, and they just took off running, my friend. 55-35 to get out of there on senior night with a big time win. And I think the Bulldogs might have just locked up a first round bye They might have just locked up home field all the way through until the dome wise. Because I think in the rankings right now they're sitting at 2.
Well, I'm going to tell you straight up, Cecilia is a force to be reckoned with, and they are going to really give some people some trouble. Especially if you have to play them at home. That is a place that you don't win very much. And, I know from the years that our alma mater played them in the same district stuff, man, and then we played them before the turf. Just imagine how fast they are now. So it was crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So watch out when the brackets come out Sunday.
Yes.
We'll see who falls on that same side of the bracket as them. Start putting together potential matchups and start getting a little excited for these weeks to come, my friend.
Oh, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm excited.
Holy Cross East St. John battled it out on Thursday. Tell you what, this Holy Cross team can score, and they can score again, my friend. A big-time win against East St. John. We'll see where Holy Cross falls in that bracket. Could they make a run and knock off a few teams they're not supposed to? We'll see.
Anything's possible.
Once you get to this time of the year, you just put the football down and see who the better man is.
Well, you said it. You said it the best. Once you get to the playoffs, everybody's record is 0-0.
And let's check it out on the board. They would be.
It's going to be amazing.
It looks like Holy Cross sitting at 1, Gary.
Really?
Okay.
I can live with that.
That's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Power points. You take a look at Kinder and Lake Charles College Prep. That game never finished. They're going to call it a nine contest. We just talked about it on the show Wednesday, and you hate to see it brought up again.
Right. Anytime you have stuff that happens, and I hate to say this, off of the field. And this is off campus. It was off campus. It wasn't even there. It was off campus, and they caused the game to be basically ruled no contest.
Would love to see this game try to get finished, but if it's not going to benefit both teams in the rankings wise, it's not for the district title. I don't know if going into week 11 with sharing a field with other teams, I guess you would have to say, hey, we'll go play it over there at Kinder.
Right. And whenever you're dealing with this particular situation, I hate to say this, but and I'm gonna tell it straight out. What is wrong with everybody? And I mean, this is crazy. I'm sorry, but if you don't know what it's about, it's one of these instances we've been talking about all year with shootings and stuff in the area and all that. What is wrong with people? Where is the sanctity of life and people respecting each other? This is a high school football game that got a good high school football game that was going on that basically just got thrown on the wayside and said, okay, it's no contest. These players just didn't have an opportunity to play. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you win or lose or whatever, but at least you have the opportunity to do your best for 4 quarters.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry, man. All I can say is wake up, America. Wake up, Acadiana. Don't let this happen. We need to find a way to make sure this doesn't happen again. Too many people are getting hurt. Too many people are being affected by stupidity.
Sir.
Sorry.
Gary, let's shift gears for a second. Starting to see a team that could be scary in the playoffs when they get there, and it's Alexandria, my friend.
Most definitely. They're scoring some points.
They're playing some close games against some big dogs in that district, and they got a big win tonight. Alexandria could go upset somebody in that first and second round.
Right. They're good enough to really, make a little, put a little ripple in the pond. They're able to do that, And
I wouldn't want to play them out the game.
They, tonight they played against a great, I won't say a great team, but a good team in West Washita, and they did a good job on them. And like I said, I think it's going to be an exciting playoff. But man, going back to it, we're done with the regular season. We're in playoffs. It seems like we just started. And we're at week 10.
Time flies when you're having fun.
You're right, buddy. You're right. And I'm excited. I can't wait. We've got our focus on time off and everything from whenever the playoffs are here. I think I've already got a room. I mean, I'm good.
I got it, man. I got my room. Dome is home.
That's right.
And the road to the dome has begun.
It has begun. You're right. You're right.
Some more games before we just talk a little football here. Elton knocking off Hamilton Christian tonight on the road. 22-20 was that final. Boy, does that feel good if you're from Elton.
Man, I'm going to tell you, we didn't see that coming. Mm-hmm. Honestly, we did not. But man, you got to feel something for Elton.
That's why you play the game, right?
That's why you play the game.
Any given Friday.
Right. Anything can happen. But man, I am so excited for Elton and Brennan. And I mean, we talked about it. We're really excited for them. And, this is a special night for them because, I mean, they nobody gave them a chance against Hamilton Christian.
Yes,
and they proved everybody wrong.
You know who's red hot right now? Since they lost to John Curtis?
Who that?
Acadiana.
Oh, yes. Talk about the Wrecking Rams.
Wrecking Rams, since the loss to John Curtis, have reeled off a few wins here now. They're going into the playoffs with some confidence, with some momentum. If they fall on the right side of the bracket, is this a quarterfinal, semifinal team? I don't know yet if they're a state championship caliber team. Yet to be determined.
Right.
But they're playing with confidence right now.
They're playing some good ball. They're executing the veer now, and they're really dominating with ball control. But the veer, we always say it, fear the veer, and Acadiana runs it.
Yes, sir.
So I think that they
matchups.
have
all about matchups when you get to that first and second round, Gary. And then when you get past there, it comes down to who executes more, who wants it more in the fourth, and maybe if the ball just bounces your way late in the game. Right.
You got to think that the tradition of Acadiana and how good they have been in the past. It's like it nurtures itself every year. It just you might lose some of the big parts, but then the little parts coming up, they start getting bigger and bigger. And look out, Acadiana is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I can't wait to see who they're going to play.
Hey, if you had a big win tonight, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the chat. Shout out your favorite team. Shout out where you were tonight watching the football game. We'd love to see where the fans were tonight and who got a big win. Some Thursday games, Gary. Sulphur gets a win over Como. Como falls to 0-10 on the year.
Yeah.
Nish upsets Lafayette tonight, Thursday night, 33-22. That's a big win for that program.
Right.
I know those seniors are feeling good right now.
Yeah.
To go out with a win. The Quincy and Grand Lake, they were in a heck of a game.
Right.
21-20 was the final score there. I heard it came down to a blocked field goal.
Oh,
Grand
really?
Lake, congratulations. Big senior night win. Centerville, also a big senior night win, my friend, over Covington Christian on Thursday, 36-23. Congratulations, Coach Jefferson. He's got the Bulldogs 6-4, Gary, gearing up for a playoff run.
You're
We'll
right.
see
You're right.
what Centerville can do from here on out. And then East Beauregard came in and pretty much dominated the second half. It was 12-7 at halftime, and the final score was 44-13 got a special group over there. They got some
Right.
huge linemen, and those guys can get after it. I'll see if East Bow matches up well in the first round. I might pick them next week
Yeah.
after what I saw on Thursday night.
Yeah, I had to work, so I didn't get a chance to see. But I saw the second half, and man, I tell you what, I was so impressed with that big line manhandling the Bearcats. Basile had no answer after I saw that with that long run on there. So man, good job, East Bow.
Hey, had another district title tonight. Booker T. Washington and De La Salle were battling it out in De La Salle. 37-14 winners. Congratulations.
De La Salle's another team.
Not the ideal season they're having right now with the record, but still got to feel good to bring the district title home.
De La Salle has tradition, and they have a lot of things to play for, and they're going to be scary.
Yes, since a couple people in the chat. Jack Jackson was in Abbeville tonight. The stadium was rocking. Yeah, we could feel it from the top of the press box.
Oh yeah, we was there.
Troy, beautiful downtown. And he says, even though we didn't win, still representing St. James.
Yep, most definitely.
Ernest Jones, OHS, go Tigers, 41 win over Beauchene. I tell you what, OHS, no bye this year, and I think they like it like that.
Right. I'm going to tell you, that way they'll get a chance to keep everything, say like me, they'll keep the machine well oiled. They want to make sure they can keep it going.
They want to go play right now.
Let's go play. And I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I think last year's bye, and if you told Coach, would you want to buy again, he would tell you absolutely not.
Yeah.
Let's go play week 11.
Right. And I got to talk CJ, one of my students who's also playing for OHS. He's a senior this year, and he came and visited me Thursday in the class, and he was around town. I think he was eating next door, but he comes and visits me, and I told him, I said, y'all need to take things serious. Don't let anything go for granted. He says, Mr. Gary, he says, I promise you we won't. So, and they did. They did a real good job.
We'll find out what the Tigers have on Sunday when the brackets come out. We said Port Barry gets a big win over Pine Prairie, 44-0. OHS gets a big win, 41-0 over Beauchene. Northwest also rolled tonight, 49-0 over Mamou. Vinton and that the same Northwest team sharing the district title with Iota and Church Point. So I know Raiderland is jumping for joy right now.
Oh yeah, they're jumping for joy right now, big time.
Lake Arthur steamrolled Vinton tonight, 50-6. Eunice all over Lagrange, 43-16. Oberlin, they wrapped up a district title on Thursday night. They get a big win tonight, 51-16. Brobridge all over Livonia tonight, 42-6. Did not want to have a last year type of incident when Livonia upset them. Turlings 49-0 over North Vermilion. St. Martinville 67-39 over Crawley. Hey, found some offense tonight.
Yeah, they got some offense going. Wow.
Oakdale gets the win 47-6 over Rose Pine. Oakdale 7-3 going into the playoffs, my friend.
Look out, man.
Let's see. South Bow gets a big time win on the road over Westlake, 21-19. What a game
that must have been exciting. Yes, that must have been a real exciting ball game.
Lake Charles College Prep Kinder called a no contest. Union Parish flexed their muscles after a tough last couple of weeks where you just knew they had to get back in the win column before the playoffs got here. 40-6 over Carroll. Elton shocks the state of Louisiana tonight, knocks off Hamilton Christian 22-20. You said it, nobody gave him a chance.
Nobody gave him a chance, and they proved us wrong.
Franklin shocks the state of Louisiana and knocks off Ascension Episcopal tonight, 44-41. What a game that must have been. Holy shootout.
No defense. Let's play some offense. That's what it was.
I'll give you a little defense here. How about Westgate 23, Northside 8, final.
Wow.
Let's see what else we're rocking with. Catholic Appointed P rolled tonight over Westminster 55-6. Shout for the
Yeah.
Hornets, big dog.
Look out. The Hornets are always tough.
Bunky wins the Catskin 47-12 over Marksville. Acadiana beats Barb 57-6. Alexandria beats West Washita 49-7. Vermilion Catholic, perfect season, 43-14 over Hanson Memorial. Franklin Parish goes on the road and knocks off Peabody 15-6. Boy, that's an ugly score.
That's an ugly score, but man, I tell you
what a win.
You know,
This Peabody team was surging.
Yeah, and I think Peabody's on the right track, and that, we talked about that earlier. I mean, they have a great coach now. I mean, you know as well as I do, he's going to really turn that program around. But Franklin Parish came in there, and they just did what they had to do.
I tell you what, Mr. Swallow, one of the biggest wins in Lake Charles tonight had to be Sam Houston knocking off Southside tonight, 32-27. What a win for the Broncos!
You're right. That had to be one of one of the games of their season that they really took the defending champions and they beat them.
Yes, the defending district champions.
So
that type of win there could fuel an off season and could fuel a playoff run.
Right, but look out! I would not want to play Southside right now.
The Sharks after a loss.
Oh, after a loss. Coach Fontenot's going to get them. He's going to get them right.
Opelousas Catholic Vikings. I think they might have a first-round bye, if I'm not mistaken, Gary.
Could be. They're pretty
so we
high.
might have to wait 2 weeks before we see the Vikings again.
Right.
But 56-12 winners over St. Ed's tonight wraps up the district title.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Vikings.
Leesville all over Rain, 53-32. Leesville 7-3. We said they're scary good going into the playoffs.
You're all right.
Jennings was one of the hotter teams in the area. They went down to St. Louis tonight. St. Louis comes in with that talented defense. On senior night, you know that senior class got a lot on defense. And Gary, all they needed was 7 points and a really talented defense to back them up. 7-0 your final score. I told you 2 really good 3A teams will be a 7-0 ball game. But you would never take that one.
But that would be, St. Louis, we've seen their defense. But Jennings must have a pretty stout defense too, to keep that score that close.
Yes.
7-0. Yes, it's a shutout on their part, but you know what? To hold St. Louis to 7 points, that's still doing pretty good too.
Tell you what, if you love defense.
Oh yeah, that was the game to go to.
That was the game to be at tonight. Congratulations, Coach Mathern. I think St. Louis might have a first-round bye. I have to check them out on Sunday.
Right.
But Jennings in the playoffs could be one of those teams that are not a top 4 seed that could make a run.
Oh yeah, I could see them beating a few teams.
Yes, sir. Plaquemine shocks West Feliciana tonight, 13-8. What a win for those guys. I think they're the Green Devils?
I think they're the Green Devils, right, if I'm not mistaken.
Plaquemine, huge win tonight at West Feliciana, Gary.
That I did not see coming, but I'm going to tell you right now, congratulations to Plaquemine. And like I said, West Feliciana, look out whenever they regroup because they're going to be coming back with a vengeance.
Holy Cross all over East St. John Thursday night. It was 56-19. Archbishop Shaw and Karen Crow tonight was in a shootout for the ages. And Shaw knocks off Karen Crow 57-50. Oh, what a night for Shaw. Oh, what a game between those two teams.
107 points scored in a game. That is amazing.
One of those where you hate to see somebody lose.
Yeah, we talked about that at the game we covered tonight. Yeah, unbelievable.
Man, now you look at both of these teams going into the playoffs. One of them's going to play in Division I Select. One of them's going to play in Division II Select. And I think Karen Crow right now might be on the outside looking in for a first-round bye. But I think Shaw locked up a first-round bye tonight.
That's a possibility. But like I said, we'll find out for sure on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Iowa Cecilia on Thursday night. We said it was a classic for about 3.5 quarters.
Then.
And then Cecilia, gas pedal, no seatbelt on, and they rolled 55-35 after the performance of that football team led by Mr. Diesel.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing performance. Congratulations. You know, Cecilia is rocking. They're hitting it on all cylinders. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with in these playoffs.
Gary, we said it that John Curtis had a chance to beat Edna Core, but we were
We
giving
didn't
it
see
a
that.
3-point difference here.
Yeah.
We didn't see this one. 41-7, Curtis knocks off Carr tonight. One of the more lopsided scores in recent memory between these two teams when they meet each other.
Right. I've never seen Edna Carr lose that bad that I remember in my memory. But, man, that's amazing that Curtis can do that. I guess with all the controversy and stuff, it kind of made
With
Curtis,
the wins
record and all that. It kind of made Curtis say, "Okay, well, we're gonna do it now," and just go after it. So, man, that was really one-sided.
A top 10 game in the nation does not live up to the hype.
Nope.
But you look at that and you say, man, the defending state champs, they're playing their best football going into the playoffs.
You're right.
Watch out for Curtis. He's trying to go get another one, Gary.
Oh yeah.
And
I just don't know where they put all of them.
And you said it best.
Mm-hmm.
You said about a couple of other these teams here.
Right.
I don't want to play them guys after a loss. Well, Carr's another one.
Carr's another one. I would. Oh my God. I'm scared right now for whoever they're playing.
Carr might have locked up a first round bye too, because
Yeah.
I think top 8 get a first round bye in
Right.
select. So we'll check those guys out. We'll see where they at in the rankings. But that Division 1 select is loaded, Gary.
You're right. It's so
You
fierce.
You remember Brother Martin came as a lower seed last year
Yes.
and walked their way to the dome. You could very well see another team this year do the same format.
You're right.
Oh, wow. I think this is wrong.
That's
That's the wrong one.
Yeah, I think they were flipped.
My bad, dog. I was on the wrong website.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Carr sitting at 5. Curtis is at 6.
I still, man, look out. I do not want to play them.
So Carr and Curtis would both get a first round bye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Is it first 8 or first
First 8
first 8?
for select.
Katie Anna would probably get a bye according to that too.
Yes,
Didn't you
Katie
say?
Anna would too. Yes.
Yeah.
Notre Dame all over Welsh Thursday night, 44-0. Pios and St. Charles, they look like they're destined to meet again.
Mm-hmm.
Braden said probably the quarterfinals. So can Pios finally get over that hump?
Hey, that's going to be the basically the $1 million question. Can the Pios actually, go into wherever, whether they come down here, go over there, and compete against with St. Charles. St. Charles has had the upper hand for the last few years. Unbelievable.
The game we covered tonight, Kaplan, Abbeville.
Oh,
Boy,
man.
it lived up to the hype 3 years in a row, my
Yeah.
friend. We got there. We were excited. We were expecting the instant classic, and boy, did we get one.
We got one. It was unbelievable. These two teams have tradition. They're rivals, but boy, I tell you what, they know how to play exciting football games over there.
For the first time in 26 years, you can crown Abbeville as district champs.
Correct. I mean, Kaplan won the district, 5-6 years ago? But it's been 26?
Yes.
26 years that the Abbeville Wildcats have won the district title.
1997, I was told by Moy.
And this year, they did it. And they did it against their arch rival, and they played for the Russo Trophy, and they've won it for the last couple of years, and they kept it all in Abbeville.
I'll tell you what, Gary, it came out to the turnover battle.
Right.
It came down to an interception. I think they said he was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
We got him mistaken with number 4. We thought
Right.
number 4 was on the interception, but it was really number 16.
Right.
So we were giving 4 the credit
on
of
that,
2
yeah.
turnovers in that game, a fumble recovery and an interception. So that was
Yeah.
our mistake there. But a freshman in that moment to go and get a interception when you need to get your offense back on the field, you're trailing,
Right.
and you think to yourself, okay, now you got to go drive the length of the field to go take the lead. And you've seen the will, and you've seen the resilient group that would go drive down the field for the game winner.
Right. I mean, unbelievable. And you know, when you have, I know you believe this as well as I do. We have Abbeville and Kaplan. These 2 teams are so good, but they exemplify their coaches. You have 2 quality head coaches in this contest right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you right now, hats off to both of them, because they exemplify what coaching is all about. They not only care about their teams, but as far as athletes, but they care about their teams as people. Mm-hmm. And they are really, really positive role models. And that's we said it earlier. This is a game that it's a shame somebody has to lose, because they're both really good. So congratulations to Coach Moy.
Yeah.
You know, you got your district championship back in Abbeville, and you keep the Russo Trophy.
Yes, sir. And they locked up a home playoff game tonight.
Home playoff game. And it was close. I mean, 4 points.
18-14
Okay.
final score.
The last 3 years we had
A 12-7 game.
12-7.
14-13.
Right, and then
18-14.
18-14. So, I mean, quality athletic programs.
Are we booked for year 4?
Yeah, hopefully.
Or we're not allowed to come back no more?
I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to get there. But this is, we're excited. This is one of the quality programs that we love to cover. Well, there's no exception to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We talked about that ULAB Parkview Baptist score 55-21. ULAB could give St. Charles a scare,
They could.
or they could meet the Dome.
It depends on the bracket. Depends on where they fall.
Haynesville all over Homer tonight. Shut them out 23-0. The state's longest running rivalry game, I was told.
Yeah.
Well, Haynesville Golden Tornado tonight with the rivalry win.
Right.
Going into the playoffs, these 2 teams could meet again somewhere in the quarter semis.
Not really sure, but yeah. Like I said, we're waiting on the brackets to see where everything's going to happen, and boy, I'm excited.
What else we got, Gary?
E.D. White.
E.D. White knocked off St. James 27-19 for the district title. E.D. White 10-0. I think they're going to be ranked 2 going into the playoffs next week. So who's going to be in that bracket with those guys? That is correct me if I'm wrong, but the St. Thomas More LCA bracket.
Yes.
So
1, 2, 3.
E.D. White LCA in the semis could very well see
Might
it,
be.
but you still have other teams that could very well get there. You got the St. Louis's of the world, the Shaws. You got the John F. Kennedy sitting right there. So
Yeah.
a lot of teams still in that playoff hunt. Nobody
Right.
else threatening down there at the bottom.
Well, never underestimate Evangel.
Where they at? Oh yeah, 12. I mean,
Never underestimate Evangel.
maybe.
They're on their way back, but I don't know if they're going to be there this year.
No, sir.
Newman.
Newman shut out 28-0 to the state champs going for the 3-peat.
Right, St. Charles. Let me tell you something.
Comments are going in. It might be better this year than they have them the last 2 years.
I was getting ready to say that. You took the words out of my mouth. this may be one of the best St. Charles teams. And like I said, they've won 2 state championships in a row. And I think this team right here may be better than the other 2. So look out. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to take a very sound ball club to defeat St. Charles. So look out. Congratulations. And like I said, perfect season.
Comments, and I think they're ranked number 1 going into the playoffs. Let's take a look at these updated rankings. And right now, they sit number 1 in the state, Gary.
Right.
So the road to the playoffs could go through that stadium.
Right. Look out. Oh, man.
And ULAB sitting at 4, a semifinal matchup. Holy cow.
Wow. And you got Calvary Baptist at number 2. Look out, Bubba. That may be it.
Get
Can
ready.
you imagine?
Get ready, my friend. Troy likes that. That's the River Parish love right there.
Yeah, you're right. Big time.
What else going down in T-Town tonight except Alabama tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know.
Sterlington and Wassman. We said the Sterlington team starting to look dome good, and we better start believing that we can see those guys in New Orleans, because that's a 38-15 win. They're going to finish the season 9-1
Right.
after their only loss this year came to West Monroe earlier in the season. And what they've done since that point, it's been remarkable.
Right.
Ruston over West Monroe tonight. They said it's been a long time since Ruston went into West Monroe and got a win. Well, tonight they went into West Monroe, got a win, and they also got crowned district champs. 35-28. About Big Ruston getting ready to go into the playoffs.
That shows me that
record.
That shows me that it was a back and forth game, or one score game. So look out, man. That's going to be 2 teams from that district that are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Zachary Catholic of Baton Rouge from Thursday night, 35-28. Catholic of Baton Rouge on senior night wins the district title.
That's another game.
I think that rivalry there is here to stay.
That's not going anywhere, I hope, anyway, man. That is something else.
And then St. Thomas More and LCA tonight, 44-40. St. Thomas More stuns LCA tonight. It was a 95-yard scoop and score to the house with less than 2 minutes to play, and then St. Thomas More drives the field, scores with 30 seconds remaining, and then LCA comes back, tries to go win the game, and last second heave knocked down, and Holly's lock of the week is done. Oh
man, she was mad earlier today too.
When I told her what happened, she says, "I already know. I almost went throw up."
Man, unbelievable. But St. Thomas More dominated the first part of the game, and LCA came back when they got that scoop and score. All they had to do was play defense, but St. Thomas More was a little bit too tough for them. They drove the ball down the field and got that score. So look out.
The will to win a championship, Gary.
Right, and you know the old saying: to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. And they the champ. They beat them. They beat them in the finals last year. So
3 times in a row.
It's crazy.
LCA, very good possibility. Those 2 can meet back in the dome.
There's a very good possibility. Yes, sir.
I would love to see a rematch.
I would too. I'd buy me a big bag of popcorn for that one.
Yes, sir. Let's check on some of the chat real quick, Gary. I mean, week 10 is over, man. What are you most excited for as this playoffs get here?
Man, I'm excited to see the brackets and see what's going to happen, where everybody's going to be seated. Because once that's done, then we can have a starting point. We can actually see who we think is going to be, in the dome, who can work their way up. Some of the marquee matchups. I'm excited for that. But, I'm excied to see who's going to get there, because before we know it, we're going to be in New Orleans. This season went by so fast, it's unbelievable. Right now, we are in the home stretch to crown a champion. And there's nothing like crowning a champion on the Superdome field.
Cody says, y'all think the Ritter can get a home playoff game? They're sitting at 17 right now, Gary. I don't know if they're going to slide into that top 16.
I don't know about a home game. I think they're going to be traveling.
Yes, I think they're going to be right on the outs.
Right.
See what else is going down. Watch out for Oberlin, says Nutsy. Yeah, Oberlin has really impressed me these last 4 weeks.
You know, for a team that size, as far as, and I'm not talking about physical, I'm talking about number-wise, they've shown that they can do it. I'm excited for them.
Flappy says OHS Northwest is a potential matchup. They're close right here in the rankings. It's looking like OHS versus Rain is a very possibility round one.
Yeah.
And Northwest is looking like Franklin Parish might be a possible matchup round one. But this is unofficial rankings right now. We won't know until Sunday.
Right.
But
when they come out on the bracket,
OHS,
that's when we know what's going to happen.
OHS and Rain would be fun.
That would be a good game. Yes.
And Abbeville's looking like Pearl River might come into town.
Okay. That's a possibility. Yes.
Iowa and Grant, 8 versus 25, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to do a lot of studying this weekend, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That way, when we come in and on Sunday, we'll be able to announce the brackets and see who all's playing who.
Kirk says it looks like Port Barry is going to play South Plaquemines. So that would be around the 11.
That's a drive.
That would be around the 11 range.
Yeah.
So Kinder, South Plaquemines, Lowerville, St. Helena, not 4 easy places to go play.
Not at all.
I mean, it's a great season, but that's 4 quality opponents right there we just named for Port Barry, my friend.
Well, I mean, we'll see where the final bracket comes out to, and hopefully we'll be able to, see and, get excited. I mean, I'm excited for my Red Devils, just to make the playoffs. But, boy, would it be awesome to get a win out of that. That would be something.
Cam says Iota Church Point rematch in God's country. Boy, that would be fun. But you would hate to see a local go home that early.
Right. I would love to see it spread out because, you have 2 of the best teams. What didn't this last game put a 3-way tie for the district? So you got 3 district champions, a 3-way tie for district, and the first round you'd have to play. They'd have to play each other. That's not fair.
I mean, what's fair? I mean, it's great for high school football fans, but you would hate week 10 to turn around and play the same team back over again.
Right, exactly, and that's my point. To me, it's just not fair to have to play have 2 teams play each other back to back like that.
JB says, "Go Shaw." Hey. Big time win for Shaw tonight.
Yeah,
congratulations, my friend.
Most definitely.
Y'all got Crow tonight, and that's hard for us to ever pick against them because we know how much points they could score. But hey, defense gave up 7 more.
Right. Shaw did a real good job. Congratulations.
Let's see what else is going. Shaw was a quarterfinal team a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Zaylen Williams, senior tonight on Abbeville District Champs. Thank y'all for coming out. Pleasure's all ours. Love that touchdown run you had in the 4th quarter, my man.
Yes, most definitely, man. Good job.
See GP in the chats. Y'all better, let's see. Y'all better come back. Abbeville loves y'all. There's a very possibility. We got to weigh our options and
we'll
see these matchups.
See what the matchups look like.
How can Livonia High School get back to the top? Maybe moving down back to 3A, right?
Yeah.
They had a lot of success in 3A whenever they made their state title runs.
Right. That's I think 4A is just kicking them too much, man. I think they need to go back down to 3A.
Playoff times, baby. You're right, JB. George Jefferson who says, we all waiting. We may play Oberlin. Coach Jefferson at Centerville. We talked about that. Oberlin Centerville would be a fun one to attend.
Right, that would be a good one. Might have to make a trip.
Let's see who comes to Welsh. Wonder if Haynesville will skip over Oak Grove in the power rankings with that win. Going to be close. If not, Oak Grove versus Kentwood highly likely in the semis. Could be wrong. I think it's Oak Grove, Haynesville.
Yeah.
Oak Grove, Haynesville, Kentwood, and Logansport. That's your semifinals, whether you want to draw it up or not. A playoff bracket in that Division 4 non-select.
Right.
Flap says, good night, brothers. Got to go to work in the morning. Another good show, and go Tigers. And then Ernest says, OHS versus Abbeville. What do you think? Dream matchup.
Yeah, that'd be a dream matchup.
We covered it a few years ago whenever they played in the regular
Right.
season. That's when we first got introduced to Abbeville.
Right, exactly.
Gary Swallow, let's go games of the night, my friend. Talk to me about what stood out for games of the night.
Man, for me personally, I have two of them. One of them is OC and St. Anne's. I think the games of the night, that was yesterday.
On paper, it was the game of the night.
It was a game of the night, but OC really did a great job doing that. But as far as the other two that I have, Abbeville and Kaplan, the game that we covered, that was a game. I mean, that was back and forth, this, that, and the other. And, Abbeville came out on top.
Both teams didn't want to give an inch.
Yeah, they sure did. And the other game of the night was the one that we listened to on the way back. STM over LCA.
Okay.
You can't ask for a game that, to me would probably be more exciting than that. So those are the three games of the night that I really like.
All right, I'll go games of the night for you, my friend.
Go for it.
St. Thomas More over LCA. What a game, and what an ending that was.
That was just so exciting.
Abbeville over Kaplan, 18-14 win. It was a defensive slugfest, and it came down to a game-winning drive there in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Archbishop Shaw over Karen Crow.
Right.
Holy score fest, 57-50 winners at home over Karen Crow. That's definitely a game of the night. Right. I got Ruston over West Monroe, 7-point win. Ruston finally gets a win at, Bill Dotson Stadium?
Yeah, I think so.
Am I saying that wrong?
Uh-huh.
But at West Monroe. And then Iota over Church Point, down by 18 in the fourth quarter. You come storming back and knock off Church Point by 4 points. What a win. What a game of the night.
You're right. I got to agree with you.
Upsets of the night, Gary. You got any?
I got a couple of them. John Curtis over Edna Carr. I never would have seen that.
The score. Yes, okay.
The score. That's the upset. Not the fact that Curtis would have beat him. If it would have been I don't think Curtis beating Carr by 2 or 3 points is an upset. But doing it by that big a margin, I think, is an upset.
Okay.
Sam Houston over Southside. I consider that an upset because I think Southside was playing real good, defending the district champs. And then the last one is local. It's Nish over Lafayette. Nish was a 1 and 18, and Lafayette was trying to do something, and man, they just said no.
Okay, I have to agree with you with 2 right there. My upsets of the night: Nish getting a win over Lafayette on the road.
Right.
They didn't do this in their backyard. They went on the road. Lafayette plays at a neutral site, but still.
Right.
I got Sam Houston over Southside. I called this on Wednesday night. I was the only one that thought the Broncos had a shot to knock off Southside, and they proved it. And they get a big-time upset over the Sharks.
Right.
And then I also put Franklin over Ascension Episcopal tonight.
Right. Yeah, that's
Franklin
true.
upsets Ascension Episcopal by 3 tonight.
Yeah, that's a good one to go.
Okay, let's go UTL statement win of the night. Who deserves statement win of the night?
Statement wins is what basically whenever somebody just like, oh my God, they needed to make one. I got East Bow over Basile.
That was a statement. Who
That
saw that lopsided
Yeah, we
score
didn't
coming?
see that. Leesville over Rain.
Leesville, they're getting hot.
Wampus Cats, they're doing good. And to me, number one in that is Iota over Church Point. The way that they did it, that I knew that was going to be a nip and tug game,
Okay.
but that was a statement from Iota saying, "Not so fast, my friend."
Give me the district title
That's
share. Okay,
Right.
okay. Here's my UTL statement win of the night, Scary.
Mm-hmm.
John Curtis over Edna Carr in the blowout game that it was.
Right.
I mean, you know that this could be, you play 9 times out of 10, they'll probably split it.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this, and it's been a competitive rivalry these last few years when they played each other. Did not see the scores this dominating. That's a statement tonight what Curtis did.
Right. I agree with you on that.
St. Thomas More going into Lafayette Christian Academy, knowing it was John Johnson's senior night, and knocking off the Knights with the district title on the line. Big time statement going into the playoffs saying we're still the state champs.
Right. You're right.
Sterlington over Wassman on Thursday night, Gary. Wassman's defense only giving up, 30-something, 40-something points this entire year.
Right.
And then you go and play a red-hot Sterlington team that's just reeled off win after win after win after the West Monroe loss. And this Sterlington team is looking scary, dome good. And they proved it on the road. Statement win over Wassman for the district title. And then St. Charles over Newman. Shutout win tonight, 28-0. This was 2 undefeated teams playing for the district title. These last few years, it's been close ball games.
Right.
But tonight, St. Charles, 28-0. Big time flex. We're still the state champs. Give us our district title. We got bigger things to play for down the road.
Right. I agree.
And I got one more for you.
Oh.
Cecilia over Iowa Thursday night.
Yeah.
The way they pulled away in the fourth quarter and defended their home turf, and Diesel the way he played.
Right.
Gary Squallow, Cecilia with a big time statement going into the playoffs, probably the ranked number 2 in the state.
They are going to be a fierce competitor and a force to be reckoned with all the way through. Look out.
Yes, sir.
See.
We go helmet stickers now. Who's going to get your helmet stickers? UTL helmet stickers, who gets them?
For me, okay, I'm going to go Cecilia. I think Cecilia is doing so good. I think they deserve that helmet sticker for the dominance that they just did. Oberlin for the win that they not only getting the district championship, knowing that they won the district championship Thursday, but still continuing to play and dominating today.
Okay.
VC, perfect record.
Perfect season.
Yeah, I'll give them a sticker. And the last one, I'm gonna be biased. My Port Barre Red Devils for making the playoffs for the first time in many years. 5-5, dominating today. Congratulations, love you, Red.
Helmet stickers for myself. Thursday night winner on Under the Lights. East Beauregard picked up a big win over Basile. They looked good that night. They deserve a helmet sticker for myself. We go to tonight, covered this game. Your winner, Abbeville Wildcats, big time home win, first time in 26 years.
Right.
Russo stays home, giving my helmet sticker to Abbeville Wildcats. Right. Also giving my helmet sticker to the Alameda. Port Barre, they're in the playoffs. It's a good feeling tonight knowing that we graduated from the school and they slowly turning the tide there. I gave my sticker to Vermilion Catholic. perfect season. Love what they do over there, and they're right back in contention to make another run to the Dome.
You're right.
And then I gave my last helmet sticker to Bunky. Winners of the Catskin game, 9-1 on the season. Watch out for Bunky. I mean, they're in a tough division going into the playoffs, but tonight, winners of the Catskin gets the helmet sticker.
You're right. Great choices for, and I'm gonna tell you, this was a great year, and man, I'm excited. I'm just typically excited for this playoff.
5 weeks remain.
Right.
We're down to the home stretch.
Man, can you believe that it was 10 weeks ago that we started? 10 weeks. Unbelievable. But you know what? I loved every minute of it. We loved it. Had a lot of ups and downs.
Brandon wants to know who was our pick for Abbeville and Kaplan. Since we called the game, we didn't make a pick to stay neutral.
Right.
Well, we enjoy calling it.
Oh yeah. Whenever we make a pick, we don't. Whenever we call a game, we don't make a pick.
Elton upsetting Hamilton Christian. That's a big time win for that program.
I agree with that.
Coach Brody in the chat saying, "Good year, guys." Coach, not done yet. They go get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
Go upset somebody in the first round.
You're right. You're right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate y'all.
It's going down. Troy says they won 2 straight on the road against good teams. Yes,
Right.
John Curtis played good ball. Curtis has been winning the last few times they played. They were a lot closer games the last few times, but they have really owned that series. But Gary, let's close this one out, my friend. Gonna get on to the house.
Yes.
Get ready for a big LSU game tomorrow night.
Right. I got to work tomorrow morning. I got a function. But man, Jordy.
Let's give our final thoughts as Week 10 comes to a close. Let's give let's get ready for Sunday. Let's get ready for Week 11.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. First of all, Week 10, amazing ball games.
Lived up to the hype.
Lived up to the hype. Hard ones to pick. We had some upsets. We had everything going. But I say this every year, and I say it a lot, especially at Week 10. Some of these guys that are playing, this is their last night playing high school football for the seniors that did not make the playoffs. My only thing that I say to you is I hope you gave everything you got and left it all on the field. For those of you who still have more opportunities to play for your school, leave it all on the field, stay healthy, do your best, and always hold your head high. And do, like I said, just make sure you leave it all out there and just enjoy what you do. That's all I got to say, because the playoffs are here, and that's what it's all about. You want to get there to the Dome, but keep working hard. I want to thank everybody that supported us, and I can't wait to see what the brackets are going to say and how it's going to go from here.
Yes, indeed, my friend. Sunday, 11 a.m. Make sure you tune in to LHSAA live on YouTube. The brackets will be revealed. Where will your favorites land? Where will Under the Lights go in round 1? We got a lot to discuss. We're going to have to figure it out, make a couple phone calls, draw up some plans, and just maybe pull out of a hat, my friend, because there's a lot of teams around the state pulling. They're pulling at us. You better come to us round 1. Please come cover us in round 1, Gary.
We've already got some texts and some comments.
They're knocking on the door, my friend. We're trying to open one of them, but we ain't opening it yet until at least Sunday night.
Right.
But for those guys that are reaching out, it's a wonderful thing that you are believing in us and trusting in us to go cover a big time football game like that. And we'll check these matchups. We'll talk to a couple coaches because you got to get permission on both sides at this point of the season once you get in the playoffs. And should have an answer of where we're gonna go. Probably Sunday night, Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think you should all join us Sunday at the bracket release show.
Yeah.
Brackets will release midday. We'll come together later that evening. About 4 or 5 ish.
Yeah.
We'll talk all brackets. We'll talk about teams that we think are gonna make a run for the title. We'll see where our locals fell. We'll see who the number 1 seeds are going into the playoffs. Who got the first round buys. Potential landing spots for us, and then talk about maybe some potential matchups later on in the bracket where you say, man, that's a state championship caliber matchup. That's a state championship caliber matchup meeting in the quarters or the semis. But and then we take a look and say, okay, here's my semifinals. Here's my state championship game. Here's my state champion, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah.
We'll pick the games. We'll put those teams there. We're not going to pick all the games because we have a Wednesday night show to pick. But we'll make some state championship picks on Sunday, and we'll see. I'll bring a big panel. We'll sit down. We'll discuss it. We'll give you our thoughts, concerns, and worries as Week 11 arrives, and it's going to come in full force. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor to bring you 10 weeks of high school football live on Under the Lights. Gary Swallow, it's been a pleasure calling football games with you, sitting down with you at this table each and every week. It's been a fun ride, but it's not over.
No, and the most exciting thing we have this week coming up is the bracket, and then the pick show on Wednesday. But unfortunately, I won't be able to call the game with you this week because of a function that we have every year. The first week of the playoffs, I'm working. And
you know what else?
You know,
it's gonna feel really strange not calling a game on Thursday night next week.
Right, it's strictly gonna be Friday.
No more Thursdays the rest of the week, boy. What am I gonna do with myself?
I know you're gonna be running around going duh, or walking around the house going first down.
Yes, indeed. So let's go and get on out here. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Week 10 recap show live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. We thank you so much for staying up late with us for the late night recap show. Gary Swallow, Jordan Taylor, this has been Under the Lights. We say have a great rest of your weekend. Congratulations to the district champs. Congratulations to all the winners across the state of Louisiana. And you're the senior that played your final down. Keep your head high. Remember the memories.
Yes, most definitely.
God bless high school football. God bless each and every one of you. And God bless my friend, Mr. Gary Swallow, right here. We'll see you Sunday at the Bracket Release Show. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.